Hey everybody, I'm APH. Welcome back to the Town of Crispy Bacon. Now a comment from Smokey X led me to think about, should we do two endings for this series? One where we stay in our home territory and one where we do a colonization and kind of do a side-by-side expansion and show how the different functions actually play out in different ways of playing the game. So this is an alternate episode 9, where instead of doing an actual expansion over to the east, we are going to just expand in this territory and see what we can do to make the town of Crispy Bacon happen without actually expanding outside of the Savanna or the desert. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm thinking, due to its near the gems, I'm thinking this area right here. Let's take a look at our cards real quick, see if we can find some pigs to kind of get this started. Fruit gatherers can't really happen. We'll take the market. That'll be kind of the basis for our area, and we'll take a charcoal burner just because we haven't been able to keep up on that. I'm thinking that we're going to have to trade for grapes in order to get wine, because currently we are lacking a tier 2 luxury. I know glass is in the works, but it's taking a little bit of time to actually get going. So let's go ahead and grab that winery and see what we can do to make that happen. Nothing's really useful in these cards. Let's go ahead and pass them. And we're going to hold out because I think it's time to actually get a scholar's office down. Now, this block right here, taking a look, I'm pretty sure all we need is 8 more houses to get the actual magic mushrooms to happen. And looking at the actual houses that we have, they house 6 people, and the mushrooms take 2 apiece. So if we have a block of 8 of them, it will take 16, which means 8 houses is plenty enough to actually feed them. Looking at the fact that these are not upgraded, let's go ahead and upgrade what we can upgrade, which upgraded 36, not enough to upgrade all of them. That's kind of to be expected. And let's go ahead and increase time as we get started here. And we'll probably base this expansion, try to hug it right up in here. Let's place in a road first as kind of a guide, so I'm not just placing things wherever. Yeah, see, this is why I placed the guides in first. I would have placed that and wouldn't have been able to actually do what I was looking to do. And we're going to go ahead and put our block of 8 actual mushroom farms. There we go. Now, I've been thinking long and hard about the next challenge, and I know the next challenge is going to include a no trade scenario where we are not able to trade, but I'm kind of working up what are the other aspects of that challenge. As I said, we're episode 9, and we are on the cusp of the actual industrial age, and it's clear that pigs are capable of actually moving us into the late game without going fruit or bread. Something that is a proven thing. So I don't think we're far from actually having the end game. So go ahead and get our city center. And we'll probably go something about like this, where we place our market right here. We're still gonna need a tavern and a library and all that jazz over here. Let's go ahead and pick up the scholar's office. I want to see if we can pick up a library or a tavern. We do want the granary. Let's see if we can find a spot for the paper maker. It's gonna be a long shot, and if we can't find a spot for it, we'll go ahead and sell it. All right, let's get that paper maker down there, and I don't think I can get another paper maker down here now. So let's, once it comes back up, let's go ahead and sell that. As for all of these mushroom farms, I think we're going to need a trade company up here. Something I was hoping to actually get away from. And then we're going to need a warehouse to kind of make this have enough area for wood as well as enough area for the actual mushrooms. And with that, it looks like our first mushroom farm is down. Let's go ahead and pick up that granary. We'll pick up the pig ranch once we've placed down a couple more carts. Let's go ahead and drop this down to upgrade this area, the 25%. And then we'll go back to building our houses real quick. Excellent. Now, I do know that a house is the right distance, so we'll place that in there kind of as a temporary and go ahead and build this out. And this will get us the 8 houses with the kind of the going for a little bit more compact as we're going to be crunched into this area. Now what this will also do is it should give us enough miners to get the gemstones that are down here, which we do have in the actual archive, and we might pull that out. Going back over to the tech tree, we're going to go ahead and grab budget adjustment so that we can start spending some of our money into actually upgrading some of our buildings to try to push that production. And let's go ahead and get our scholars office down. And we'll try to nab it like right in here, and then we'll try to get a hauler in. Oh, that's a little too tight. Let's get a hauler over here where our warehouse is, and we'll need another in this area. That's a given because of how big this area is. And for some reason, this one has a different base than this one. It might actually be a desert building, as we do have some desert tiles here. All right, let's grab this pig ranch because it looks like our wool production is still a little higher than what we'd like. And I don't think we need anything else from this round. Candle maker would be interesting. We already have the candle maker in our archive. We'd have to buy the wax. Scholar has to be first because we have to start making sustainability books to make that happen. Let's go ahead and pass on that. Nothing quite useful in here. We will want a gold smelter at some point in time, but we're going to get, that will be in the industrial age, and then we're going to have to import gold and get it turned over. The good part about the industrial age is not far in, so we'll have to get gold smithing kind of right away and go for industrialization to get to paper mill so we can produce paper away from the actual river. That's going to have to be a thing. All right, let this area build up for a few minutes while we replace one of our sheep over here with pig. And it looks like this one right here is ready. So let's go ahead and drop this. And we'll go ahead and send that into the bin and get our next pig farm. Now it does look like at least some of them are not quite producing yet, which is okay. Which gets us down to just 4. And this is something that I was thinking is we're going to have to import cotton for high fashion. It would actually be amazing if they had the option to use wool and dye it to actually get to high fashion instead of like an alternate recipe for like beer or for medicine. So having an alternate recipe for the actual creation of the high fashion. Stone needs to be bumped up. We might have to look at actually getting a little bit more stone production, and let's take a look at the rest. It looks like medicine's also kind of on that edge, so we might have to look at that too. And part of that will come with the actual budget. We'll be able to up these. The other is once we have enough glass, which is really on the edge, we'll look at getting that upgraded too. I just know that this glasswork is actually hogging up quite a bit of the actual glass. The budget will help maintain the glass better, And then what we'll do is, as we get sustainability books, we'll drop sustainability in here so we can get a second glass smelter to hopefully maintain a second glasswork. But we're probably going to do the same thing with that, where, again, we place sustainability books in here, and we're going to go heavy sustainability, but that requires getting the scholar up and going. And let's go ahead and set that right away to sustainability, and let's nab 2 sustainability books out of the fungus farms to kind of get that going, and we will go ahead and prioritize building that. This area is slowly coming together, and I think it's time to look for another quarry. Let's go ahead and get coffee next so we can do work schedule. And we can increase the budget of our actual mushroom farms. Let's see what that does to the actual our actual budget up there. Doesn't move us too far. Let's go ahead and upgrade our quarry. And let's get our glasswork, and let's see how they're... Okay, so the glassware is starting to maintain. Let's go ahead and get a target of 3,000. And we'll get a storage down over here for it. And we'll just set this just... Oh, I did not mean to quick build that. Meant to hit the management screen. Let's go ahead and set this just for glassware. I think I passed it. There we go. And now that that's kind of set, we'll go back here and we will budget these back up as well, trying to get it all maintained. Go ahead and upgrade our pottery now that we have that. And again, these are probably all going to be sustainability books to try to maintain. Let's get our coal, and what else are we missing? Maybe furniture. Let's go ahead and move that up to the Enlightened Age, and let's go ahead and upgrade that. Good thing about furniture is we have 3 of them maintaining. Yeah, we'll probably do the same here, where we do 1 sustainability and 1 of a production, trying to keep it cheap. Let's go ahead and go to the tech. Let's get irrigation, because eventually we're going to have to go for that magic mushroom, and we want to go ahead and pick up the coffee roaster. Let's send the wild card where it belongs, and let's go ahead and upgrade this one as far as we can. Forgot to upgrade that one. Brings it up to the Enlightened Age. I kind of wish this area had, instead of regular houses, I wish it had the actual desert houses. Let's go ahead, and as long as our budget is okay, we're going to try to maintain this as close as we can to the breaking even as we can without really going too far over. Let's get the blacksmith, and probably don't need the iron mine upgraded. That should about do it for the time being. Let's go ahead and upgrade beer, and go ahead and bring these up to the next era, at least what we can. Now, beer itself is kind of, yeah, it's holding at the 3,000, so we're actually good there. Which means when we get the actual tech for hours, we may be able to reduce down the hours a little bit further and push the happiness even higher. I think for some of these where we're maintaining, I think we're going to have to put frugality books in there just to bolster up our budget a little bit. Makes me leery as we're getting a little lower that we're buying a lot of wood and a lot of tulips, a lot of luxury items, that is, and it's causing us to have some issues. All right, let's go ahead and show the tech tree. We're 5 away from the magic mushroom, so we're not far. Let's go ahead and get bank, and let's see what else we can kind of do. Irrigation is completely irrelevant this playthrough, and we want think we want coffee and wine this episode, but these gotta fill in and actually do their thing first. Let's take a look and see if we can find that library. Nothing in here. Nothing really in here. Yeah, nothing in there. I had that second look going, is there something I'm missing? And nothing in there. Now, up here, let's switch. I'm okay with selling the leather out of the one. Let's switch this from exporting wool to exporting clothes. And we're going to go ahead and set the goal at 2,500. Goofy game. Let's try that again. Let's go ahead and bring it up to the Enlightened Age, and let's go ahead and bring time back up. Just as a way of maintaining our money. Because it looks like clothes are in a good spot right now. So let's see what that tick actually brings. And it looks like we're shy on labor, so we got to get people to adult to actually start filling in some of the jobs. Come on. Show me the trade. Show me the trade. So that gets me 5,000. It's going to start pushing the price down, which is okay. It will actually allow me to maybe place another tailor, as well as kind of boost up the budget to try to get more of the actual wool into clothes instead of selling the wool directly. Yeah, that area looks pretty good as pumpkins. So we're probably getting close to where we can get melons. Let's take a look and see how far away we are. Yeah, it looks like we're probably this season we're going to be at about 2,000. So as soon as we go into the actual industrial age, we're going to go ahead and pick that up. This part of the town is expanding. And food's making me a little leery. It's actually starting to drop down. Let's go ahead and set the production here for 1,000 wood, and we'll go ahead and start the import. And it immediately clears out the target. Let's try that again. There we go, and we'll go ahead and do what we can to upgrade these while we're waiting for glass to come in. And hey, it looks like our first card is about to finish. Let's go ahead and upgrade, do the improved production, because we've got way more than enough level 4 houses. And yeah, I'm leery about putting more into the budget unless we drop one of the cards and put a frugality card in here to kind of maintain it. Because right now our paper budget, which hopefully is in production now, is actually ready. Let's go ahead and get the +2 workers. Let's go ahead and do the better process, which makes it so it uses less wood, and let's bump up the budget. And again, here, this is probably going to have to be a mix where we go for production and sustainability to kind of maintain it so we can bolster up the amount of actual production we get while minimizing the amount of wood that we're burning. Now, I have seen the comments about place an actual wood gatherer over here. I don't think that that's going to be productive enough to make it worthwhile. I also think that some of these long-term trees would be interesting just cutting them down, but I think that it adds a little bit of characteristic to the map, leaving them up there. And it looks like the last of our actual houses is coming together as we enter winter of 32. Stone has built back up, so as soon as this last house is built, we'll go ahead and do the upgrade. So bricks is actually building up, which is what we wanted. Yeah, as soon as this one builds, we'll go ahead and get our upgrade to the stone insulation. I know we're not using a whole lot of coal every year because we're in the actual Savanna, but I still want to maintain that. Hey, we got our sustainability book. Now, where for the first one? Let's go ahead and drop one in that furniture. You know what? Let's not do that. Let's look for another actual scholar's office, which I think we have. Yeah, let's drop our coffee and our winery in there. And let's grab our scholar's office and see how bad the labor force is. Granted, right now we do have 30 labor, so let's go ahead and take a look at what the breakdown is, what jobs are not actually in work, which quarry's one of them. Okay, we might be catching up now where we have enough people. Farms. Okay, we're going to lose, out of the 31, we're going to lose 22 people. That will bring us down to 8 laborers. We can't do it yet. We need those laborers to actually help out during the winter. So we're at roughly 340 adults. We need to be probably 360 adults before we start our progression. We do have homes now, and it looks like they're starting to get built. Waiting on this one. For some reason, the builder is probably just a ways away. Yeah, it doesn't even show, well, he's here now, but it doesn't show where the builder is actually kind of based out of. Usually it will show kind of an arrow and everything. All right, let's upgrade what we can upgrade. That upgrades the insulation in all of our houses, bringing them all up to the current age. And I think banks are level 5 houses and higher. Let's double check that. Yeah, level 5 houses and higher. So we're going to have to find a way to actually fit banks into a lot of what we want. Nothing in here looks good. We'll take the trade company just in case. Yeah, nothing in there. We already have the beekeeper and the glassworks that we need. We already have a gem. Placed our tavern. Oh my gosh, we forgot to delete out that house. All right, let's get this deleted out before, and let's grab that tavern. Good thing about that is it will fill these out, which is what we wanted. Let's go ahead and get this on the side with the higher quality, and let's see if we can find a library. Again, nothing really useful in here. School, there's our library. And let's go ahead and plop that down. Poor house. I mean, they had all of these goods, and we just totally eviscerated their home and kicked them out. Sometimes being a city builder can be evil. Let's go ahead and take a look, and again, nothing very useful in here. Eventually another blacksmith may be useful, but at least we're sustaining on tools right now. And I guess that would be an option, is it doesn't take a whole lot of actual use of metal. Maybe we actually make tools to try to sell them to bolster up our income. Maybe that's an option that we look at. As let's go ahead and cancel that. These guys are not producing. Well, they're not at a goal. So let's set an actual goal first of all. And we'll set it for 3K like a lot of the rest of it. And once we hit that 3K, what we'll look at is selling off down to maybe 25. Let's go ahead and upgrade our mine, and yeah, we'll upgrade the iron smelter. And I do think that it's time to start looking at victory conditions, which means once the bank is done, we're going to have to look at getting the victory, the cathedral, and we'll place it. I don't know that I like this spot, but we'll look for a good spot to place it. And looks like I'm starting to get adults again. So let's get our next scholar's office. I don't know that I like it there. I think we're going to have to build houses in here eventually, just because a lot of this area is starting to really fill in a lot fuller than I thought. Let's place it. Let's place it over here with these houses. think this area is nice and filled out and ready to go. Let's go ahead and go back to our tech and let's grab the cathedral. I think we're going to have to pump more into ranch, and that will possibly be this episode. Food's a little leery for me. We're just maintaining. So I don't want all you can eat or happy bread day. Well, happy bread day is out. Maybe we'll have to look at getting an actual resource outpost, because that can be useful in certain situations. We do want the bank, and we're going to immediately try to place this down. And I'm not seeing... Oh yeah, it is dropping the icon, because that should bring the money up to a little over 60 apiece, and that will help get this back up. I know in industrialization we can take some options, but I think we want to try something a little bit different this run. All right, back into the tech tree. We're 2 houses from our goal, and let's go ahead and get work schedule so we can not get machinery. That's about useless. We'll probably, hopefully when work schedule is done, we'll actually get the magic mushrooms. Let's go ahead and grab our cathedral. And let's place it up here. Kind of in the thought of, you know, at the edge of our border. And again, I'm starting to get into where I actually like to do some decorative things. So I'm thinking we want to leave enough area that we can do something decorative around it. Let's go right here. So let's go ahead and get rid of all of these road remnants of when we were doing all of our trade. And we'll try to get it very centered. That should work. I know glass is going to be an absolute pain to get, so let's get prepped to get another glass production down by dropping our sustainability in there. We have enough bricks right now. Get 50% production and decreases the input. I think that that's necessary to get another glass smelter. What we should probably do is only use one and get a frugality with that. So perhaps this one right here, let's go ahead and drop those in and let's set that up to frugality. I think that's the route, and we'll go ahead and... Okay, they're already working on building that, so that will work. Let's see. Glass is slowly coming in. Vodka's slowly coming in. Clothes we're selling down, which is good because it means we'll actually sell more of our... or we'll go through more of our wool into something more productive. And by selling off some of the wool, it looks like we're actually not selling off. By using some of the wool for clothes, we're probably decreasing the actual selling of it, which looks like it's actually bringing the price back up. That could work a double bonus for us. Now, we probably need another trade somewhere for more wood, and we probably should place it over here. As well as our next frugality book, as I said, probably needs to go in there. Kind of planning for the future here. We'll want another glasswork. Let's see if there's a glasswork in here. Again, nothing too useful in there. Nothing that we want in there. Another gold smelter. Another hauling service. We'll pick that up just to have it in the actual book there. And a pig. This should be, I believe, the last of our pig that we need. And what we might be able to do is actually push pigs down below now too. Yeah, that's good. And Glassworks produces glassware. Okay, this isn't the one we want. This could be an interesting thing as well. Maybe we go very heavy into production of secondary goods in order to sell them to kind of maintain. Something that I'm going to have to think of. I can't really do it right now because we don't have the people. Let's go ahead and take our free reroll. And again, nothing in here. Now, we did finish our tech and we're ready to go into magic mushrooms. This is promising. This will be another sustainable level 2 resource. And again, it's going to use wood, but that's okay. Our next scholar office is ready. Let's go ahead and get it improved to what we can. And once that starts producing, we should be able to start upgrading some of these things. Let's go ahead and increase our budget here and drop a frugality in there so that more of this glass is actually being into the populace so that we can maintain, like, well, the truth of the matter is, hey, we have people leaving because we're full. Is to build the cathedral, it is going to take a boatload of glass that, because we're using it in the actual glassware, it's just going to take a while. Let's take a look at it through our archive and see if we have something in here that we could use. You could grab, well, let's take out the beekeepers because we're not going to use them. Just simply cannot get enough production out of them to make it worthwhile. Let's grab a candle maker. How are we doing on people? All right, 95 laborers, so we're ready for this. Let's place a trade company. We'll go right here, and then we'll get our candle maker right in this area. Let's go ahead and get a warehouse for it. Oh, that's a shame. Let's do the warehouse first, and let's leave a road there. Let's get our candle maker down. This one will be strictly wax, and then we'll come over here. So we're gonna wait for, again, we're gonna wait for sustainability, and it looks like we have the ability to bump our hours now. We're not producing enough paper. Got a little sidetracked there because I was thinking of how many actual carts it's going to take to fill all these. We have a good chunk of stone. Let's go ahead and upgrade what we can upgrade. Upgraded 10, so we had some somewhere that weren't upgraded. And food's down at about 2,000. Let's see where we can place that pig. Because this is all set. This is all set. Because we want to keep this round sheep. Do we have room in this cluster over here to maybe do a pig production down here? We're only going to do like one round versus the 4 that we were doing. And we can probably place it in relatively close. So we'll need 3 more in total, and we'll need a granary for this. Another bank, we're going to grab that. A glass smelter, yes, please. Now, something that we can do for passive income, and maybe we should with this, is go ahead and grab the cathedral once we place down the bank. And I'll show you what we're going to do with that. Let's go ahead and nab this guy in here. That should get these houses all upgraded. And we can drop a frugality book. Let's look for, I think it was glass melting was the big one. And magic mushrooms are complete. Let's go ahead and get let's start the industrial age. We want magic mushrooms. Let's upgrade this by placing 1 frugality in there. And I think that will maintain that once we get a second glasswork, the 1 sand mine should be able to maintain 2 glass smelters at a decent price. And our next frugality, we're going to go ahead and place in here. And this will be our way of actually maintaining our budget. Let's take a look at our tailor, as we're probably going to get another one down. Yeah, that's nice and cheap. We can probably, and again, it's being maintained by that frugality. So we're probably going to have to go a production book with that just to really push that along. And just like the other episode 9, we're coming up on year 34. Let's see what we can do to kind of get our next luxury, this one, going before we call this episode. But I think this is a much more intriguing take on the actual process than taking an actual colony in, and we want to get wax here. So beeswax, and we probably need to maintain, let's maintain 500. Just need to get this built, and we're going to drop in the candle maker, which is just about done. We're going to do a sustainability and a frugality there too. Do have a couple sustainabilities, and how is our bricks looking? We're producing 500 a year. Let's find our brickwork, get it bumped up, drop a sustainability in there, drop a frugality in there. Let's go ahead and get the specialized tools to actually get it working. That should push us up a little higher, and we're going to go ahead and set a production goal of 3K on this as well. I don't think we need to go for a boosted up hours on that, but we may look at that in the future. And it looks like we're maintaining our budget. Something that I'm highly worried about is the prices of some things are going up. Oh, I looked at that graph and thought it was the graph of how much we were producing and got a little freaked out there. But the truth is that's the sell price. And because we're not selling it, the prices bounce back. Everything kind of looks real decent. And it looks like we're just waiting on wax to come in. Let's do the same thing here where we go ahead and bring it up to the current age and drop in the cards we can just to get as much out of it. And again, that will get us our next tier 2 luxury. Probably in the next episode, look at importing cannabis to get that another tier 1 luxury. Our job happiness is starting to come up. I don't know that we're going to be able to get our entertainment up without doing some major adjusting and moving around of things like pig farms. So that's something that I'm going to have to look at in the next episode. Hey, I'd like to take a moment to say thanks for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, hit that like button down below. Want to become an active member in the community? Join the Discord, where we talk about upcoming challenges. Link in the description, and we'll see you in the next episode.